So Jalpa is, until she joins, I'm going to give you a quick introduction about what Jalpa does. And she's somebody with many, many feathers on her hat. So she's going to have a lot of insightful information to share with us today, along with being an urban farmer, an artist running an art gallery with a difference, which I'm waiting for her to share all about, and somebody who practices art therapy, Tibetan medicine. So she has a lot of interesting things to share with us. Jalpa, I would need you to send me a request to join, and after which I can have you here on the screen with me. I think she will be with us in a moment. Hi, Jalpa.
Hi, Fiona. How are you?
Good, so good to see you.
Good. Sorry, I'm technologically challenged. I took a
No,
few
that's okay.
moments.
You made it here. I'm so happy to have you here. So
Yeah,
we figured out the technical glitches. That's totally fine.
yeah.
So I was just introducing you to everybody. I was saying that you're somebody who has so many feathers on their hat. There are so many amazing different things that you do. And I'm sure everyone leaving this session is going to leave totally inspired with all the wonderful things that you do. So
Thank
let's
you
begin.
for having me here.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you. I'm looking forward to this chat.
And I've been watching your other two sessions. They were very interesting. And you're a people's person, so you bring that out with everybody you're chatting with.
Thank you. I'm glad. I'm looking forward to this with you. So,
Thank you.
um, so I want to begin by asking you, what is out of all these different roles that you play, what is it that you enjoy doing most of all?
See, I'm actually, there's a simple formula. I do whatever inspires me and whatever I'm passionate about. So, my journey started as a farmer, a kisan. I grow roses, and I've been into reconnective healing, which is alternate healthcare. I'm an artist. I'm curating exhibitions and I have an art gallery. So what I found the common thread here is essentially everything that I'm doing is a part of who I am, and it's been a part of my own evolution. So that's the common thread. And when you
Right,
bring your own uniqueness and your own creativity into what you do, that becomes unique to you, really.
right,
So yes,
right,
yeah, I experience a 0 point every time I'm doing an artwork. It's like a space of timelessness. When I'm in the field with the plants, I experience a complete 0 point. I love farming, and I think even when I'm doing a reconnected healing, I experience a complete sense of nothingness, and that nothingness to me is everything. So I
right,
know that's a part of my journey. That's a simple benchmark for me then.
right, right. So let's talk about your art gallery. And it's definitely a gallery with a difference. So I'd love for you to share with us the whole journey. I mean, I know it's a very interesting story about how it started. So let's hear all about it from you.
Yeah, well, I had no ambition of opening an art gallery. I'm an artist. I love painting. My journey with star art started at a very young age with art classes with Uma Malik. A lot of people here, I'm sure, know her as well. But I actually had a dream, Fiona, in 2011, and I was very vivid. I was shown this space is a beautiful art gallery. I was given the name of the gallery, Cosmic Art Gallery, and I was explained it's going to be art inspired by the cosmos, by the nameless ones. So I instantly knew it had to be a platform for talent. There was a logo on the floor. I didn't know it's the logo then. There was a symbol on the floor. And obviously, I had this dream. I forgot about it. I told my sister Toral, that
Right,
I had this dream. I have to open a gallery, and I left it at that because she knows I'm crazy, and you can share anything with your siblings. But a
right.
few days later, Dad, my father, he offered me the same place which I saw in my dream, and he said, you're enjoying painting so much. Why don't you open a gallery in court chambers? Now I'm very
Wow.
quick to pick up the signs. The universe is talking to all of us in different ways all the time. It's up to us
Right,
to pick up the signs. So
right.
I knew that this gallery has been a gift of the universe. In 7 years we've done over 130 events related to art, culture, and music. And
Wow.
it's our vision to create a world without borders, with the exchange of art and culture, because that's the foundation
Right,
of peaceful coexistence. And you can
right,
pass a lot of subliminal messages through art. So this is
right.
essentially a platform for talent. There are veterans in art we promote, there is young talent, and it's also affordable art because I feel everybody should have a beautiful home. And a lot of people, you know, want to intellectualize the process of art. I think you have to feel art, you know. It's like
Right.
you have to enjoy it, and it adds so much to you in different ways.
Right. But talking about feeling art, and so I'm sure you have a lot of artists approach you. I'm sure you meet with a lot of different artists, doing a lot of different art forms. I know you also have photography exhibits and,
Yeah.
sculptures, a lot of different things in the gallery. So what is it that you look for when you pick a piece of art to put in the gallery? Is there anything that calls to you, or what is your process of selecting, curating all of these
Yeah.
exhibits?
So, you know, when I see a painting, it has to immediately speak to me. I have to like it aesthetically. You know, it has to appeal to me. That's the first thing. It should be something I would put up in my own home. You know, that's
Right,
the second benchmark. And then, you know, as you're curating an exhibition, you know, the story that you write around the work will flow organically once you've already made a connection. It can also
right,
happen the other way around. But initially, the important thing is that you have to like it aesthetically, the beauty, and then, you know, it starts speaking to you.
right, right,
And we've been very fortunate. I've never had to go out to look for an artist. We're also promoting so many international artists. But, you know, everybody seems to connect. There's a thread, you know, like
right,
I said, it's been a gift of the universe. And we've worked with very beautiful people, you know, very beautiful artists. And it's been a very enriching journey. And a lot of the
right,
art which has reached people's homes, people come back and they felt an energetic shift besides the aesthetic value that it has added
right,
into their home.
right. And can you tell me, as an artist, what is your, do you have a formula, or is it all, just free flowing art? What do you do? What techniques do you dabble in? And what is
You
art
know,
for you, really?
I like doing monochromatic work a lot. I dabble a lot in watercolors, pen and ink, you know, and inspiration, honestly, if we can come from anywhere. Like I
Right,
went for a safari to Ranthambore 2 years ago, and I was amazed by the magnificence of the tiger. And then I
right,
started a project with about 200 village artists there. It's called Eye of the Tiger. I still have to launch it. And, you know, we started showing the regality and the magnificence of the tiger in this
wow,
project is actually supported by the Princess Diya Kumari Foundation. They're
right,
also on board because they were very happy by working with the villagers. So I have
right.
the work by, you know, just by chance of one of the village artists I work with. His name is Rajesh Saini. And if it's okay, I'm going to show it to some of the viewers here.
Of
Yeah.
course, we would love to see. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh my God, there's so much detailing. So this is one of your artworks?
No, this is of Rajesh Saini. And I
Okay,
have
okay.
a work which my mom has put up, which is done about 20 years ago at
Right.
Uma Auntie's class, but I'm going to show that.
Oh,
So
wow,
actually,
beautiful.
Harper and Collins has asked me to do some work for children's books. So
Oh,
hopefully we'll
lovely.
find time to do
Wow.
that. So this is just something I've done actually 21 years ago, Fee.
Oh, wow. Beautiful.
So I didn't have
Beautiful.
anything else right now. But yes, you
No,
know,
but that's
inspiration can
wonderful.
come from anything. That's what
Right,
I would say.
right,
Yeah.
right.
And
No,
you know, you keep
absolutely.
evolving as an artist also.
Right. So could you tell us something about the therapeutic values of art? I mean, especially in the times we're living in, people are so stressed with all of
Yeah.
this uncertainty. So any techniques, anything that you can share that, people can do to help, to kind of like a stress buster, something that they can do related to art?
Yeah. So, you know, starting from the beginning of the question, I would say that, you know, life is about dynamic expression. And we are all creative by virtue of our existence. People box themselves saying, I'm a banker, I'm a finance guy, I'm not creative. But that's not true. The way you dress, the way you conduct yourself, the way you speak is your innate sense of creativity. And it's been our journey as a gallery to touch that innate sense of creativity in every person whose path we cross, you know, with beautiful gifts from art, with music, with reconnected healing. So I would say engage in something creative, you know, because that's going to really de-stress you. And, you know, when you engage in anything creative, even if it means music, if it's art, if it's dance, in any way, you know, even if it means cooking, or
Right,
what it's going to do is going to heal you at subliminal levels. So we did a
right,
very simple exercise, you know, called Illuminate the Planet. You know, you're just invited a lot of people who are on our gallery, social media and page, and maybe I'll invite your viewers to draw a circle, you know, symbolic of the earth. And
right,
maybe you can make it a craft exercise, you can paint it, you can color it, visualize a healed planet. Now, this is going to
right,
actually be a healing exercise for the person doing it and for the planet. Don't worry about anything, about it being perfect or imperfect. It's about the perfect
right,
imperfections. And I have the Fakir here by Rusbeh, one of my favorite books. It's by my bedside. And Rusbeh says, he's a channel of Baba. He's also writes a lot of, he's an author, very renowned author. He's written that each of us matters to providence and has a say in creation and evolution. So doing a simple exercise like this can add to the collective of the planet. So right now we all need to hold our balance, our peace, in some way so that we add to the collective. And visualize, the healed earth, the healed planet.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're right.
What's
I mean, you look
happening, if I can go a little bit on the esoteric or spiritual front, is we're moving from a three-dimensional world to a fifth-dimensional world. So we're also experiencing an energetic shift. This is beyond what is happening with COVID right now. And as the earth is getting recalibrated, we can reset ourselves, we can reevaluate life. We can rethink about what really matters and what's of meaning to us. This is an opportunity for us to, kind of, like I said, put things back into perspective and place.
Right. No, that was wonderful. Jalpa, I also wanted to ask you, there's something that you've brought to the city, which is Tibetan medicine. I know that you've it's an alternative form of medicine, and a lot of people have benefited. I am aware of the camps that you've done, the medical camps, and the number of people you've made this available to. So could you talk a little bit about the merits of Tibetan medicine and what exactly you've been doing?
Yeah, sure. This is again one of the big blessings of His Holiness the Dalai Lama has always blessed the journey. And, one of the most beautiful moments and times that I've had with him was in his palace at Dharamshala when I was invited for a youth conference by the United States Institute of Peace. So we were just 30, 40 people. It was a beautiful, unique setting. I also had the opportunity to take my parents, and they had a beautiful audience with His Holiness. Now, after the conference, His Holiness suggested that I take my parents to his personal physician. He has 4 personal physicians. And we went to this hospital, which is called Mensikhang. And what I was amazed is in 60 seconds with a pulse reading, they could tell about the entire health and vitality of my father and mom, actually. And, any tests which we could have done within 6 months, they could really diagnose and get to the pulse of many things. I also did a pulse reading. We bought some herbal medicines and we took them back to Mumbai. And in 3 weeks, I found that there was a shift. Okay. So that's when I decided that I'm going to share about this work. I took it upon myself. My dad was very kind, but he was, he loves engaging in good social work. So he sponsored 3 camps. We had about 750 people come. We celebrated 103 years of the establishment of Mensikhang by the great Dalai Lama in Lhasa, and the 14th Dalai Lama in Dharamshala. That is been established there since 58 years. So talking a little bit about Tibetan medicine, these formulas are 2,500 years old, with which the medicines are made. It's a marriage of holistic medicine along with science, and they pick herbs from the mountains and looking at the constellations and nakshatras. And once the concoctions are made, they're actually chanting and creating these medicines. And these medicines all come in from Dharamshala. And I have witnessed amazing results with cancer, with Parkinson's. I'm even talking about 4th stage, with a lot of different neuro disorders. And it's also about wellness and vitality. So, it could be as simple as getting your hormones back in place. And I've been amazed at the levels of compassion that the Tibetan doctors actually hold. And for the rest of you, I'd also like to mention that there are clinics in Malad and Vashi. And if you need any more medicine, information about Tibetan medicine, please feel free to write to me. I actually got inspired by His Holiness and somebody called Jaya Maheshwari from Pune. And her son was actually diagnosed of 4th stage cancer. This was about 20 years ago. He's still living. He was around 40 then. And she had not even met me. But when she realized that this girl is organizing a medical camp, I had no idea how to run a medical camp, actually. She used to call me up and inspire me. And, she's been a motivation factor. And His Holiness himself propagates and says that this is the gift of the Tibetan culture to people. It's one of the oldest medical traditions in the world.
Wow. So it's all by just reading your pulse. They can diagnose your health conditions.
Herbal medicines. And I'd also like to mention this is affordable healthcare. So, even people who are like the whole month's medicine is not going to be more than 500 or 1,000 rupees.
Wow, that's amazing.
It is not to supplement your allopathy at all, right? This is to complement that. It's important to mention that as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
Amazing. No, I really think, I mean, you already mentioned that the camps have reached so many hundreds of people. So I think that's
It's
amazing. And I'm
actually,
sure,
it's really beautiful, and it's been overwhelming. And you've attended some the camp,
yes,
so you have
yes,
an
I
idea.
have.
It has its own,
I
it's a
do.
force of its own. The universe conspires to make these things happen. The first camp, I wasn't sure
Right,
how people will reach, because
right.
nobody was understanding when I was talking about Tibetan medicine. So I've been
Correct,
passionate
correct.
and committed to supporting the work what they're doing actually.
Right. No, but that's amazing. Everybody needs a medium, to spread what they do. So I think what you've done is absolutely fabulous. Another area that you have expertise in and that you've been transforming lives with is healing. So again, I'd love for you to share what you do and how people's lives have been transformed with the healing that you practice.
Yeah, well, this modality actually is not even a modality. It's called reconnective healing. About in
Right.
2010, I was introduced to this by my sister Toral. She took me to listen to a talk of Dr. Eric Pearl, who's one of the leading energy healthcare practitioners in the world. He's the founder of reconnective healing. And I just knew, I had a sense of knowing that I have to do this work. That's how life flows for me. It's always a
Right.
sense of knowing. And it's actually quite simply a gateway to accelerated life progress, like a human
Right.
upgrade of sorts. Whenever you're thinking about moving to the next step of your own evolution, this is something you'd probably come into contact with. There are very few practitioners in India, and it's proven by science that your cells start emitting higher levels of biophotonic light when you experience these sessions. So even Stanford professor William Tiller has done research, and he's showing that when the reconnective healing frequencies are introduced into your system, you come into a higher level of coherence and order. Yeah, that's more harmony and balance. And the
Right.
practitioners normally, I mean, they're also in receiving mode. So the more
Right.
healings I do, the more pathways open up for me. And coming back to the gallery, my gallery birthed in a dream after I had my reconnective healing and the reconnection done. So I
Oh,
could see that
wow.
bed about how things opened up emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, and at many, many different levels, right? So it
Right.
became my truth. And then I started getting passionate about, doing sessions for people. Total and we are
Right.
doing sessions for people around the world. Distance healings are possible. So even in
Right.
these COVID days, we're doing so many healings for people. And it's beautiful
Right.
because we've not met so many of them, Even
Correct.
how
Correct.
they connect with us, sometimes, there's a force of the universe. So,
Right.
yes, it's supported by the latest theories of nuclear and quantum physics, which is really, really interesting. And,
Right.
someday maybe we can do a live session like this, talking more
Sure.
about the
Sure.
healing. Yes. So it's been a very transformatory journey for me, and I'm experiencing that each time, people come back and they tell me about their journeys
Right.
after
So
the
could
session.
you share some victories, maybe, people who've benefited from the healing? Maybe you have a story that's very close to your heart.
Yeah, so I actually done a video called "My Journey with Reconnective Healing," which Dr. Pearl's show has shown in 50 countries on the Reconnective Healing Foundation
Wow.
Founders Day, and that's on YouTube. But
Okay.
I'll tell you a story about my cat. There's a cat outside the gallery, and I walked in one of the days into the compound, and both his hind legs had completely packed up. So I was really upset because he is almost like his name is Izmir. We named him Izmir. He's adopted us. So I was asking the watchman, I said, "Kya hua?" And he said, "Didi, मालूम नहीं है, शायद इसका accident हुआ और he's fallen down." And
Right.
then I went to a vet. I'd never been to a vet because I've not had pets before that.
Okay.
And I
Right.
took him to a pet, and he said, "Listen, this is nerve damage. It's irreversible, and you have to put him on steroids for the rest of his life." And then again,
Mm.
I took him to one more doctor for an opinion, and he said, we cannot help this." And then I
Right.
spoke to Toral. I was very upset, and she said, "Jalpa, why don't you just do 3 sessions of the healing, which is normally we
Right.
do this in multiples of 3. It's not a
Right.
crush, which is also very good. You just do
Right.
normally 3 sessions, unless it's a physical issue, maybe 6 or 9. And
Right.
we don't know what's going to happen. It's unconditional. It's a healing designed by the intelligence of the universe. And in the space of
Right.
allowing the biggest gifts happen. So here I am sitting and doing a session for Izmir. I'm sitting on a chair outside the gallery, and as I'm moving my hands, it's hands-free. There's no technique fee. This is, about energy, light, and information, and it's beyond anything that you could have ever experienced or imagined.
Right.
Izmir is lying there, and he's just like basking, like I'm giving him a massage. Of course, it's a hands-free, so I'm not touching him.
Right.
I did 3 sessions, and I had traveled somewhere. I came back, and as I walked into the building, this was before Diwali, like 2-3 years ago, this cat came running to me like a horse.
Wow.
He was fine.
Wow.
And that same watchman who used to, like, he used to really harass me, if I can say, he's saying, Didi, मुझे नहीं मालूम आप ऐसा ऐसा करता था ना, उसी के साथ इसको अच्छा हो गया, अभी मैं आपके साथ
Right.
झगड़ा करूंगा. So there's no
Right.
explanation. But I've witnessed
True.
so many things. You can read Dr. Eric Pearl's book, read
Right.
The Reconnection, Heal Others, Heal Yourself. But I think we
Right.
can also write so many volumes on the experiences.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
even I've had an experience where, but it doesn't mean that it's only a physical healing, right? Physical is the tip of the iceberg that you can see. It could be an emotional,
Right.
it could be spiritual, it can be financial, it could be anything.
So does somebody who comes to you for healing tell you what they want healed, or is it
No.
okay,
So,
it's
in
just
Bahrain, I was doing a session for somebody and she wanted to talk to me about her life story. And I said, listen, the less I know, the better, because I don't need to know anything.
Sure.
I'm not the one who's doing the healing. I'm only a practitioner. I'm a conduit. And she
Right.
said, oh my God, you're not even talking to me. You're not even going to give me a massage. What kind of a healing is this? But, it was
Right.
transformational for her.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. And it's just 30 minutes. One session is just 30 minutes.
Okay. And you say this is done in multiples of 3.
Ideally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting. Something else that that you do and that has been a big part of your life has been the rose farms that you've run. So I wanted to talk to you about urban farming. That's something that a lot of people today are taking to, and we hear and read of so many people who've actually changed career paths and wanted to realize how much they want to be close to nature, and they've taken to farming. So
Yes.
since it's been something that you've done for so many years of your life, could you talk to us about
Yeah, I
your
think I've been
journey?
farming for half my life. I started my journey as a Kisan. So we are one of the first ones who brought greenhouse technology to India. And I'm
Right.
the vice president of Western India Floriculture Association. I love farming. My favorite pair of shoes or slippers is a pair of rubber chippers at my farm, because you have to be, in contact with the soil. Also, that has given me the opportunity to work with a lot of women, because we essentially run our farm with a lot of women. And
Right.
I think, even in these days, urban farming is so important, because people are turning to, they're getting much more conscious about nutrition, about wellness,
Right.
about loving
Right.
themselves, so it's
Right.
good if we can grow our own food, if we bring that
Right.
into consciousness. I did organic vegetables and it was fantastic, the quality, and I think that everything that you are is what you eat, right? As they say. So it's so
Absolutely.
important. It's so important to turn to these, these ways, actually.
Right.
I would
So
encourage everybody to do it. I have another
Right.
friend, Sushma. She does beautiful. She works with a lot of the rural farmers, and
Right.
encourages them to grow. But I think here also in the city, we should do whatever best we can in our balconies, in a little garden, if somebody has it as well.
That was my next question to you, in fact. So what do you recommend? I mean, we live in cities like Bombay with absolutely no space.
Yeah.
So what would you recommend to somebody who has space constraints but would probably still like to try growing something? Any suggestions?
So, a lot of people are doing it in their, as you know, in their balconies. There are different
Right.
even simple hydroponic techniques. Even if you have a garden and you can, share and
Right.
grow things, for your own
Right.
community.
Right.
We have to be
Right.
innovative in the space that we have.
Right.
Right? Even growing 2-3 vegetables in your balcony is great.
Right. Right. No, I think it's a small beginning, and you
Yes.
take it from there. I
We did
also
a very nice concept with with Natasha. I mean, I don't know if she's watching this right now. We did a concept with plants in gobar gamlas, whether it was tomato, it was sage, it was basil, and we started selling those to people, because it was very easy.
lovely.
That could disintegrate into their other pot, and they started.
Okay.
We were trying to promote urban farming, in a small way as well.
Right. Right. Wow. So, Jalpa, I think we're running out of time. I'm going to head towards the last segment of the chat, and that's the rapid fire round. So, I want you to just answer the first thing that comes to your head when I throw these questions, right? So, what's the first thing you'll do after the lockdown ends?
First thing I'll do after the lockdown ends. I'm actually quite so much at peace with it that I've not thought about that.
Right.
I haven't
Okay.
really thought about it. Maybe just go for a very, very long drive.
Okay, perfect.
Right now,
if you
even
could,
if I'm stepping out for veggies, it's like you're just going down to the store and driving back home.
running back.
You're not
Yeah.
even looking out, actually. Yeah.
True,
Yeah.
true. And with a mask, and you're really not even looking around or talking to a
Yeah.
soul.
Yeah.
So I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay, if you could wake up the next day and have gained a new skill or ability, what would you want?
Maybe, you know, I'm looking at everybody doing these amazing headstands and yoga. I started doing a little bit of yoga, but I'm imagining myself doing a
Right.
headstand.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. We're
This,
trying to bring in more flexibility. We're all working out, but flexibility is again another thing. Yeah.
right, right. Okay. Describe yourself in 3 words.
Passion, smiles, and joy.
Okay, I absolutely agree. All right. What's your best travel memory?
Turkey. It was my first solo trip, and was
Oh, lovely.
fantastic.
Those are
Fantastic.
always
Yeah,
special. Yeah.
yeah. It reconnected me back to myself, and now I'm committed to doing one solo trip at least in a year.
A year. Oh,
It was
wonderful.
fantastic. Yeah.
I'm sure, I'm sure. And that's actually bringing me to the last question, which is where will your first flight be to after all of this ends?
I think Bangalore.
Okay.
Bangalore. Yeah, I have, there's somebody whom I treat as a father figure, and as my
Okay.
guru shrine is there. So I think I'd probably visit Bangalore.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, Jalpa. This was absolutely interesting and super inspiring for everyone, I'm sure, who's watched.
Thank you.
And
You know, when you're
thank you
asking me
so much.
post-COVID, honestly, I'm so much in the moment right now that
Yeah.
I'm not able to
To think about
think.
what next.
Yeah, I'm
True,
just
true.
in the moment right now. I'm not thinking too much because you have to just take each day at a time, right?
Right. But as you said, you're doing the things you love, so
Yes, yes,
there's no need
yes, yes. It's
to
important to
worry
be
or
creatively engaged. You know, we get creative. We
right.
because that's really the best stress buster as well.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
like I said,
Thank you
life is
so
about
much.
expression. I think that would be my closing note.
Right.
Thank you, Fee.
Feeling so inspired and having learned a lot. So thank you so much. And anyone who probably wants to know more about any of the things that you do and get in touch with you for maybe the Tibetan medicine, as you said, they can reach out to you. So thank you, Jalpa. This was lovely.
Thank you.
Tomorrow, I have another friend joining me at the same time at 5:30. She is a race car driver. So I think she's also going to have a lot of interesting stories and a lot of interesting things to share. So for those of you who are free at 5:30 p.m. tomorrow, you can join in and enjoy the chat with her. So thank you, Jalpa. Thank you so
Thank you, Fee.
much.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.